You're misleading the public. You're lying to people.
We are part of a giant stage. All the world's a stage, and you're on it.
Jesus Christ, can suck my dick? Suck my dick?
Suck my dick, Earth, with that bullshit.
Man's getting rude. Man's getting rude.
It could be a what's it? It could be an onion ring.
A hairless monkey zipping through the vacuum, or a potato rock.
Yeah, if we dumped what we found right now, we would be, it'd be bad. It would be bad.
Can't have a flat earth and things making sense.
Oh my god, my laptop sound is up. I was thinking, where is that noise coming from? Good evening and welcome to another edition of Gem's Flat Earth Sunday Roast. As always, there's a hitch at the start. We're back once again with our almost weekly roundup of news and views from across the imaginary plane. I am your host, Gem, and on our panel this evening, it's all the cool kids from the Debate Flat Earth and More Discord server. They are Cat Earth, Kosho, Scott, Lewis, and the ever-lovely Twitwit has joined us. Good evening to you all.
Hi.
Twitwit. Hi.
It is. Hey.
I know.
You snuck in during the intro.
We're so honoured.
I snuck in.
We're very honoured. Kosho as well is on the way, I hope. Did I do everyone? Hang on. Yeah, I've done everyone.
Wait, quick camera appearance for Laurie Gale because she's so paranoid. I think she's still flatty. There you go. Camera done.
Right, we'll push on with it. We've got a mega show this evening. There's a lot to get through, so stick around. It's going to be a long one, guys. This week saw an event that will be recorded in the annals of Flat Earth history as the Great Flouncing. As Queen of Flat Earth, Patricia Steer packed her bags that apparently Antonio paid for and vanished for good from cyberspace. Now, our first clip may not make it past the copyright detection, so if we lose the stream, please hang in there and we will be right back when the gods of YouTube empower us. First, Patricia on the grief she's been getting. Then we get Mark Sargent's take on it, and finally, the little light music that started all the fun. And as usual, I'm not ready.
Yeah, he's ready. He's just building suspense.
I'm building suspense. I am indeed. Hit that button.
Hello and welcome to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. Episode number 15. Episode number 68. Episode number 159.
Mark, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. I could not be more excited about being on this show right now.
Well, I think of all of these conspiracies or belief systems as a spider's web. And from what I can see, the flat earth is the center of it all.
If you can start getting conspiracy theory into someone's head, it's amazing how suddenly everything seems this way.
They, the powers that should not be, are doing whatever they can with the vaccines, with the GMO foods, with the chemtrails.
The transgender push in the media, that they're trying to turn all the guys into girls and girls into guys.
Even the fear that there will be hijackers taking a plane and putting it through a building. Oh, by the way, I don't believe there were planes through buildings.
What source do you trust?
Myself. That's it. I've jokingly said if there's an event like I'll just use Boston bombing again, I'm not going to believe any of those events are real unless I get my leg blown off. The funny thing is that I'm a conspiracy realist, but there's conspiracies about me.
I look at episode 54 of Patricia Steer. These people I hired by section heads and supervisors in supervisor roles at NASA, the NSA, the FBI, the CIA. These aren't regular people.
It started off with me being called a shill, as if I'm doing this for money. And then I was called a flat earth honeypot to bring men into flat earth and then steer them the wrong way because my last name is Steer.
So
Patricia does is she's so pretty. All these guys. But that's a part of the lure of narcissistic, psychopathic women.
I never thought that the name Patricia, which is my first name, would be spun into the fact that the last 3 letters are CIA in the word Patricia, which means I'm in the CIA, because the government would be that dumb. But okay, if you want to believe it. Other things that have been said, that I'm a reptilian and people see my eyes shape shift while I'm on YouTube, that I drink blood. The most recent one is that I'm transgender.
I mean, I even threw up a question one day, what's up with Patricia Steer, you know? Because I don't know, but I don't know.
Now, the thing about all of these things is I can't prove any of it wrong. I could and have shown people my birth certificate, my driver's license, photos of myself as a child, and they'll say, well, if you're CIA, all of that stuff can be constructed. People will still say you don't have a real family, that you don't have a brother and sister. There's nothing that I can do. So, anybody can believe whatever they want to believe about me, but I wonder if in their hearts, people who do that know they're lying, or are they so conspiratorial that they actually believe it? Then it makes me worry about maybe things I believe in. Am I like another version of them? But I know I'm not.
No, we're not going to be talking about Patricia's show anytime soon because the secret show is on hold until Patricia figures out if she wants to keep talking about flat earth stuff, because she's been getting hammered by the trolls. And, you know, I might as well address this now. If you hadn't noticed, she has hidden her Facebook channel, hidden her YouTube channel entirely. And she, in fact, she's not even answering, or she may have even killed her Gmail account, which is, you know, the mystere@gmail.com, because I've heard that people are getting bounce backs. I can't confirm that though, because I haven't tried it myself. Or maybe she's blocking, I don't know. But the point is, if you're a woman on the internet, some things never change. That people lashed out at Patricia for 3 different reasons. 1, because she was a woman, 2, because she's very attractive, and of course 3, because she's Jewish. And then she was doxxed, and people knew where she was, and where she lived in Houston. And deliveries were sent to her house and solicitations, and it was not fun. And for anything, sorry, I'm going to go off on a quick little rant here. With anything in life, most people, they want it to be more positive than negative. Whatever you're doing in life, whatever hobby, whatever mission you have in life, it's a quality of life thing, and that is, do the positives outweigh the negatives? And for her, for a while now, it has not been. Even when the documentary came out, yeah, there were some positive things there. It was very, very cool, and she got to go to some conferences, and everything's great. But the trolls just will not stop. Oh, she's got a giant target on her chest, and they will not stop. And I don't blame her for pulling back. I don't. And if you want the biggest thing in this would be Eric DeBay, and that was, he made a video. Go to his channel. It's up there now. He made another rap video, another one against her and other people in the community. I think I'm in there at least half a dozen times, where he's just making these rap lyrics, and he hates everybody. He endorses nobody in the flat earth community. He hates everybody. And it's all jealousy. That's all it is.
running round telling folk that they are so very woke, and they know Earth's not a globe. Follow them losers, acting like you don't know that these people are the foe, turning this into a joke at that computer, or you sat on your phone. Press play, here we go. I'm aware that this is a show. They're a YouTuber, why are they getting so many views? Subs too, better go check them, bro. Why they always recommended, yo, I think that they're selected, spreading false information. No one ever seems to question. Everybody goes to flex it. Soon they're gonna learn their lesson. On you snakes, I'm always stepping. This is such a big deception. They spy on you, always got the round me. Pay chills, can't chill. Flat Earth society, secret societies, keeping shit under wraps. They can never stop this. More and more are fighting back.
No, that's a bit of a problem. See, rumor has it, the Athenians have already turned you down. And if those philosophers and boy lovers found that kind of nerve. And of course, Spartans have the reputation to consider.
Yo, Two-Faced, Joker, Riddler, ventriloquists, shill infiltration by Batman villains, and I'm the Dark Knight, ready with a sharp knife, lyrically all tight, cutting like a shark bite. It's high time for the Gotham crime syndicate, gone vigilante now, cause I'm sick of it. Take a fake truther and drop it like it's hot. Patrick's potatoes are starting to rot. Sergeant is off of the mark with a lot. Put them together and what have you got? A secret show where nothing is taught, and nothing is secret except for who bought and paid these plastic punks to represent us. Behind the curve is now the legacy we're left with, so call them all out, and when they try to fight us, we'll Sparta kick them off the edge like Leonidas.
This is Sparta!
Well, that was fun. And there is
There's
100% proof white people should never rap.
Terrible. That's very.
I actually like the beginning of that. It was the Eric debate bit was terrible, but the first bit was quite cool.
For sure.
It's all the Batman all the time. Everywhere you go around here, Batman lyrics, Batman.
It's because
I mean,
13 years old in the head.
I thought there was a little bit of truth to what Sargent was saying. Like, there needs to be more positive than negative for something.
Right.
Like, but I mean, she's always been getting that amount of negative. Like, ever since.
Yes.
Like, at no point was she not being called a tranny and all this other stuff. It's like now there's just nothing left. I think it's after years of Flat Earth contributing nothing. Now it's just not balancing out.
It's not what she's saying. The reason, like she's saying, "Oh, I'm being called a tranny by Eric Jabay." Like this is all. I was watching Flat Earth Reset videos earlier, whatever it's called. Yeah, but like he was saying the same thing. Like there's something else has happened because this is all the same grief she's been getting for ages.
But I think it wasn't actually that video that pissed her off. It was in the comments of that video. Someone was sort of cheering it on, who was someone who she thought was a friend who she had donated to. I don't know who it was, but that's that. And this was became the straw that broke the camel's back, is what's being said.
Yeah, I heard in particular. I heard that it was that people who had funded her. Did you say that? People that had like actually given her money that she considered as friends.
Oh, but it's people she'd given money to.
She said she'd given money. Yeah,
Okay, that makes more sense.
Go ahead, Twit.
Well, I was just going to say, enough to make me quit would be that green dress appearance. That was just atrocious and should never be out of her closet again. But besides that, I keep hearing that everybody, including that Mark clip where he was pretty much trying to explain why Patricia left with stating clearly that he has not heard from her.
Right.
So he doesn't know why she left, and everybody's trying to blame it on the easiest thing possible in my mind. which is that she just couldn't take the terrible comments, especially from people she's donated to, which, has she really donated to anybody? Who knows? But I'm thinking that it's more, I would like to think it's more like she just said, the hell with this. It's not worth it. And, I can't keep this up.
You mean she's changing her mind? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that there was a mind to change. I think that this was all along. Now, she could be back in 2 weeks. I've seen these comments. So I'm not under any delusion that she's gone forever, probably. But I think that she may have just said, it's just not worth it, considering that YouTube has decided that flat Earth is specifically one of the things they're shutting down monetarily.
Right. There's just nothing, like, there's no doubt in my mind. It just comes across in her attitude and the way she presented herself. She bought a lot of stuff for the show. She put a lot of effort into it, and it's obvious that she thinks of it as some sort of professional avenue.
Right.
She's not getting. It's not paying itself back. So why continue?
And I think as a radio presenter, I think she why couldn't she still have a job? I think she's got a great voice for radio.
She has a great attitude, a great presentation style.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's been a flatty for ages now, so how can she...
Well, that's kind of made her interesting, hasn't it?
Maybe. Only if she denounces it, though. Otherwise, she's not going to get an audience, is she?
Well, I also, speaking of her audience, though, how many times and who's left to interview? She's interviewed everybody that's prominent as far as having an outspoken channel of Flat Earth. What's left? She's interviewed Arwen. Who is there really anybody left?
Well, I was saying this just before we started the show, that a few weeks ago I'd actually got a clip prepared. It was that somebody else has used it as well. Was the "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead" clip from Wizard of Oz, because we hadn't seen Patricia for a while, and then I kind of thought better of it. I thought, it's a bit premature. She could have just, been on vacation or something, So, but I think it shows that you could see this coming in a way. She didn't have the same enthusiasm for it, I think, in the last few months.
Do you think it traces back to the documentary, which was pretty big?
I do really. I think it's ripped them apart, really, hasn't it?
I think too that despite the rhetoric that they give, just as an absolute fact, like no matter what you believe, as an absolute fact, it's not growing. It's not changing in a way that would be useful. So it's like, how long has she been doing this for? 3 years now, 4 years?
Right.
And to see that it's the same people, it's the same size, nothing's really moving forward. I can see that just getting tiring over time.
Yeah, because they should be, they all organise these flat Earth meetups all over the place, don't they? There should be one of those now that has, 100 people turn up or something like that, and they have like 4 or, 8. If they make it to double figures, they're doing well,
You think when...
Go ahead.
So I was going to say, when this started, it was very underground, right? 4 years ago, about 3 years ago for me. But it's very underground. This is now on Netflix. It's everywhere, and it's just completely ridiculed. It's got to have an effect.
Yeah,
on
does.
Some of them. It was for me certainly. It's like, when people find out.
I guess it depends. If you're the sort of person that can spend a lot of time on the internet, in the echo chambers and watching the videos and soaking it in, then you can keep it going. But as you say, I think if you're like most people, where you've got to be exposed to the outside world, you've got to go out to work every day and deal with family members and work friends and all that stuff, and they're all taking the piss out of it, as you say, it
gets harder and harder to be in the real world. And also, has anyone got any sympathy for her? Because
I do. I think that's a truly sad moment, actually, when you see that, in behind the curve. It does seem unfair, and I think most of us, I'll certainly speak for myself on this, have been on the receiving end of the pack of dogs that is Flat Earth, then you know you can see how that would be just make you weary, you know, reading that stuff and having people saying stuff about you all the time, you know.
Well, but she said a lot of bad things about other people for a long time, saying everyone's agents, they're fake, and sort of helping to spread. And now she's complaining, oh, what's that saying? If you lie down with pigs or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, you know, she's been hanging around spreading these conspiracies about CIA agents, operatives, and all this, and then is surprised when these people turn on her because they're completely mental, and now they think she's a tranny. I mean, it's sort of par for the course. So I don't think it's an easy way to learn that lesson in a way. So, I don't know.
Shout out to Isa. Good to see you, mate. Did you have more Twit? Or
no, I was just
yeah,
I was just going to say real quick that one part of the documentary gets me every time, though. I don't know really how to feel about it because I think that they set it up to really emote a strong feeling, and I'm not sure if it doesn't always get to me, but it's that part where she's driving alone through the city, and there's nobody around. It's, I don't know, you just get the impression it's like 3:00 in the morning, and here
you have to wonder about that shot, you know, where she right at the end there, where she sort of you know, lifts her finger up, her hand up to her eye, and sort of brushes her eye, you know, as if she's maybe wiping away just a trace of a tear there, you know. That I wonder if they staged that, you know.
It was a moving scene. I don't know if it really got me where it was supposed to, but it's in my memory. I do remember that scene very vividly. So
it's legit sad. I mean, she's so close. She's so close to like getting an awareness of how hypocritical she's being. And I mean, it's so hard to see her get so close and then just veer away at the last second.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So maybe she's getting there. You know,
just in time to save us.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. We've got a lot to get through. Shut up.
Okay.
I'm drunk. Sorry, I'm drunk.
Okay.
Well, Patricia's departure caused ructions across the plane, and ever eager for an excuse to extract super chat donations from his Flat Earth audience, Ranty sparked up a hangout in support, which we will see now.
Talk mad shit about Ranty.
It's a sad day for Flat Earth. It really is, I have to say.
I'm hearing absolute solidarity with what you're here to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, we're going to be talking a little bit about Patricia Steere right now because essentially she's closed the channel down. She's removed herself from all kind of media in every respect: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You know, it's gone. All her work for the past 3 years has gone. And we had a chat with her before. We found out the nooks and the reason for why she actually left, and it's horrible. It's horrible to think that somebody was treated the way she was treated by the people that should have been supporting her and hasn't. And I am absolutely disgusted with some of the flat earthers behind this, the people that have perpetrated this. And I have so much empathy for her and the struggle that she's gone through. And, you know, I absolutely wish her so much greatness in the future. You know, she's freed herself from this hatred that has been piled upon her. And I'm sure she's going to have a very nice life going forward. But Flat Earth has really lost. Flat Earth has lost today because of the Flat Earth trolls, specifically Antonio Subirats, specifically Pete Shea, specifically people including Eric Dubé, people including Del, Shed Rage Del from Beyond the Imaginary Curve. These divisive figures are the ones spreading the rumours, the disinformation, the attacks, the hatred. And it's time to call these people out. this can't go on anymore. People are being driven away, good people, from flat Earth because of monsters like this.
I've been subject to this myself about a year ago, and I feel that it's incredibly uncouth for those that consider themselves to be awake without any evidence to make presumptions about people that ultimately end up in defamation of character and slander.
Flat Earth data, you just said that Patricia wasn't good for Flat Earth, and for that, not only have you had your moderator status removed, but you have been permanently banned from this channel. Gem Panda, the Flat Earth denier, again, you are permanently banned. Anybody that had any hatred towards her was just because of the looks, and I don't understand it, because she didn't even look like a man. What are you guys thinking about? Seriously. There was no proof for any of this. It was just one butthurt man's problem with the fact that his relationship broke down with her. He didn't like the fact that he'd been, kicked, essentially, just kicked. He didn't like that, and he set off on a campaign of hatred about her, and that name stuck. Pete Shea was instrumental in terming the phrase ramshackle vagina. What the fuck, man, Pete Shea? Man, you are history.
Yeah, so let's just be really clear. It's people like Pete Shea with the ramshackle vagina quote, Antonio for encouraging it. Who else did she name? She named a few, but at the end of the day, I've always said that if I was ever to leave Flat Earth, it wouldn't be because of any baller. It would be because of people within Flat Earth. I don't get what it is. Half of Flat Earth is fucked because they're just batshit crazy. The other half are totally normal people. But it's the half that are batshit crazy, Antonio, Pete Shea, all the people that think that Patricia is A, B, or C. They're the reason why she's gone. And to be honest, they do more damage than any baller ever could. So if you encourage or support Antonio, Pete Shea, or any of them morons that basically hate people for no good reason, you're part of the problem. Turn away from it. Go to the people that are positive. It's not difficult to work out the people that are negative. It's blatantly obvious.
And I'll be quite candid about this. She has had more grief from people within the woke Flat Earth community than she has ballers, known ballers. And, for the amount of tranny hate that has been thrown her way by known channels that she's donated to, I will add, there's some channels out there that she's donated to in the past that have switched on her as well. And not only that, with Eric Dubé's recent upload as well of Fight the Flat Earth, where he's profusively attacking her as well. And as she said, it gets to the point where the straw is the straw that broke the camel's back. It's 3 years she's been putting up with this, and she herself said, can anyone remember the quote when she said, fuck it, I'm shutting my motherfucking YouTube down? How did she say it?
That's exactly how she said it.
She was let down by, her words
She
were,
said-
she was let down by Mark Sargents because she told Mark what the reasons why she was thinking of doing it are. And he totally diluted it and said it was because she couldn't take getting trolled. And she was like, fuck you. So Mark Sargent's partly to, because at the end of the day, right, this is where it's at. Patricia basically accepts that none of the ballers think that she's a tranny or that she's a whatever. It's only the flat earthers that seem to think that.
I'm absolutely devastated because I feel like I didn't give Patricia the support that she needed. We rarely spoke about her. She was taken for granted in every way, shape, and form.
Not
people
really. We would defend her vehemently. If anybody like Jay came in and started talking shit, he would get stamped on immediately, stamped on his face till he bled.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm trying to say is that I feel like we could have been more vocal in our support for her. We were absolutely, when people came in and were talking about transvestites, of course we jumped down the throat and we gave them what for, of course of that. But we never did any, videos of our own in public support of her or any of the other people suffering this abuse. It's abhorrent. We don't need this in the community.
Agreed.
Shout out the divisive people that basically stir up the shit for no good reason. Shout out to Pete Shea. Shout out to Del from Beyond the Imaginary Curve. Shout out to Eric Dubay. Shout out to, who else is there? Antonio Subarat. These are all the people that are just negative vibe merchants. Don't do anything good. Only all they ever do is stir shit.
So who's this Antonio person?
Subarat's the ex-boyfriend. He's a troll.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat room and everyone's going, fuck Antonio. Antonio looks like then Antonio is the person that is slandering and defamating her character, right?
It's the ex-boyfriend with a grudge because he got dumped and he can't hack it. But he's a prick.
Right, Patricia, so how did you
Who
meet Antonio?
is Antonio?
How did it go?
Oh. That's a question we're going to be answering in just a moment. In our next clip, in fact. So what does everyone think of that?
Clips. Yeah. I thought, what a bunch of virtue signaling absolute tosspot beta males, because it's just like, oh my god, like, would they have done that for anyone else who's come off?
Right.
And sorry, the other thing is, I really thought that she's played them because she knew they would make a stream about that. So she's gone on and chatted with them basically, and they've just done her bidding, I think. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we've just been talking to her, Sorry, Karen.
No, I was just curious at when the last time Roxanne actually saw sunlight.
Yeah, that's true.
She's looking a little vampire-ish these days, but yeah.
Isn't her job?
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong at all.
She's still beautiful.
I think she walks dogs, doesn't she, for a living?
I know she talked about
not
that.
outside.
Yeah, she's gonna do that.
Not during the day.
There's a code word, Jem. You know when you're going to see a man about a dog who's like getting drunk.
Well, listen, Jem, the one thing that stood out to me is I wasn't sure why they actually threw you on this list because of being banned. Because if anybody that I've known on the Globe side that's been kind to Patricia, it's been you.
Right, but at that
really...
moment, I put something in the chat like, Patricia does look like a bloke or something like that.
Okay, well, I just have to bite my tongue now and take that back.
Yeah. So I meant to warn you that I made a cameo appearance in that with my Gem Panda, the Flat Earth Denier account.
That's a funny account.
But Riley did say, he did actually give us all credit that we're less calling her trannies than the other flat earthers.
Well, which just makes perfect sense because we're rational about stuff like this. That's why we don't believe in flat Earth.
And I've spoken to her personally and told her that I don't think that so, and I think it's absurd. So.
Well, I mean, we were all very supportive of her when that first started making its rounds. Like they actually. A lot of flat earthers who depended on us to give our honest opinion on it. And I think that most of the people that I know actually said, no, she may be this and this, but she's certainly not that. She's definitely a woman.
Right. So. And she's shown pictures of it, from her childhood. I mean,
right.
Right. Yeah, but again, the point is that she's in a community where they don't believe in pictures. So
well, yeah, but even that, she's got a trackable career as well, trackable radio career. I bet there's recordings of bits and pieces, lying around over, in places that she's done over the years, and she'll be in newspapers, in listings and things like that.
But what's more insane though, thinking the Earth's flat or Patty's a tranny? Because honestly, I think thinking Patty's a tranny is less insane than believing the Earth's
kind of both equally insane. I think.
Yeah,
but
absolute
irrationality.
Possible. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Have you been to Thailand? I'm just saying.
I mean, they're both so absurdly untrue, so obviously untrue that it just becomes silly to even entertain them.
Sorry.
Well, it's not only that, it's there's an obvious motive, right? It's like he's scorned and shit like that, and he's just making this shit up as it goes.
Right.
And then they go with it.
Well, that's a story that we should perhaps tell, because as you saw from that clip, Roxanne, who hasn't been here that long, didn't even know who the bloke was, and that actually seemed to bother him, as we'll also find out in a bit. But let's take a look back now at the Flat Earth's first celebrity romance, and then we can discover what becomes of the broken-hearted.
Right, Patricia, so how did you meet Antonio at the airport? How did it go?
Why won't the damn thing mix?
Well, I got off the plane. I had 2 huge suitcases, and
Truly
I
a
walked
sad
off
tale.
the plane looking for Antonio. I wasn't sure how the airport worked in Stockport in the UK, so I wasn't sure where to go. Should I go outside and meet him? And then, from behind me, I heard my name called, and there he was, a big bouquet of flowers.
Aww.
And I think I screamed and dropped what I was carrying, and yeah.
And what did he say? What did he say to you?
I don't really remember. There wasn't much talking.
There wasn't much time.
There wasn't much talking.
Oh, wasn't much talking. It was straight to snogging.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Aw, that's really romantic.
No, sometimes there's no need for words. Sometimes.
It was a big hug.
It was,
I had a big hug off Nathan.
what was that, Patricia?
I just said it was a big hug.
Big hug.
Because we've been talking on Skype, doing things together on YouTube for a long time, since maybe late January, February.
Yeah.
So.
No kinky stuff. No sexy stuff.
It's the same piss in a different bottle. You've got Flat Earth. You've just got to go and have a look. Have a little test. Have a little dabble. Have a little look for yourself. And it's the same with urine therapy. You can listen to people. You can research TB in the face. Or you can have a little try. It's completely free.
And no piss and vinegar, Nathan. Yeah, but there's one thing that we can all remember. We've all at some point been near a bum, a tramp, somebody who's homeless, sleeps on the streets, okay? And they smell of pee, and they're very old. And, hello? They're very old.
A lot of the cosmetics people use have urine in them.
I've used urine for my eyes when I had an eye infection. Get a clean glass or something that you're going to, not plastic, or because there could be BPA's in it. Clean glass. Make sure it's rinsed well from any sort of soap residue. And then just, when you have to go to the bathroom, just go in there and pee a little bit in the toilet first. So
midstream.
Clear. Put some in the glass. It doesn't have to be a lot. We all know what a shot glass looks like. You can start off with an eyedropper if you wish, taken from that shot glass, or you can just take the shot glass. Some people want to leave that urine out till it achieves room temperature because they feel that's better. Some people will just drink it while it's warm. Other people, that creeps them out. I would suggest, this is kind of weird, when you first start, do it over a sink, because you may have a gag reflex, because in your mind you're thinking, I'm drinking pee. And if you can do that once a day, try it. If you can only manage once a week, fine. If you're only going to be putting it on your skin, on a cut or an injury, go for that.
Even if you only do it once in your whole life, freaking try it.
Stay was gagging for it. They're like creepy as fuck, mentally creepy as fuck. Before I realized it was transgender, mentally creepy as fuck. When it's there in the freaking, I'll make these chapatis or paratha, whatever they were. Put them in the oven, put them under the grill, right close to the door, and forgets about them. Oh, there's smoke in the. I go in the kitchen. It's standing at the kitchen. The smoke's coming out of the oven. That's a lot of smoke in the oven if it's forcing its way out. Coming off the counter, and it's standing, leaning forward so that this screen of smoke is like going like this. That's what I see. Like, the fuck? Hadn't opened the oven, hadn't switched it off, nothing. Just like, oh, this is an interesting screen of smoke. I wonder what happens if I go like this into it. So I grab it to move it, and it leans back into me. Oh, this is the most contact we've had in ages, something like that. I said, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to get to the oven. Okay. I open the oven, poof, smoke. It's standing there between me and the door. I can't get out. Okay. It's just standing, literally standing there, square on. I'm like, fucking move, get out, open the windows. Oh, but the cats, fuck the cats. Alarms going, everything. And I said, do you know what? Now's a good time for you to give me some fucking space. This is Stephen Chess. Stephen Chess, who you'll see here, Stephen Chess made public allegations that I and Doña Subirats had violently raped Patricia Steer. Patricia Steer did not correct these allegations. She defended the allegations. This is what he then went on to say in private to people. But yeah, basically we were all friends for a long time. Everything seemed peachy. They got engaged, a paper engagement, so she could live here because she was destitute, or at least that's what she told me. I was happy for them. We spent a lot of time in chats, the three of us, Antonio and Patricia, while they were together. Antonio never acted the same with her after she was stuck there. Absolutely, she's a freak. Something so bad happened that she paid her way back to America over 10k. Yes, I told her to leave. I can't go on anymore because I can't share her story, but it's horrific. But she was heartbroken, raped. Antonio never even flinched. Really. Antonio never even flinched. I don't care what he says about me because I know he is a rapist. And God knows I can't stand by and let him go about what he will to another woman in our communist without trying to stop him. I'll be damned. You are damned, you fucking little cretin, lying, warped, crazy fuck. Somebody hurts the object of your affections and you call them a rapist, you fucking creep. Dude, Antonio first said there are no hard feelings between us on video, then later called her a psychopath. He is full of it. Patricia was raped. She is not lying, and yes, he physically raped her with her saying stop. The only reason why Antonio has been on a smear campaign for a while is that she got away and she was telling us what he did. So then Patricia is asked, "Hi Patricia, has Stephen Chess lost his marbles?" She replies, "No, he hasn't, Dan. Stephen Chess lives in California and in some states and some countries, promising to marry someone but lying, like telling someone you're the opposite gender, and having sex under false pretenses is considered rape." I asked him, you've heard some of the stuff that's been going on this week. You've heard some of the stuff that I've said this week. Yes, Patricia is a man. At first glance, it appears like a vagina. But all of the tissue, the actual skin, all of it doesn't have the same texture as a vagina, okay? And it's white on the inside. All of it is the same color as its thighs on the inside too. And it's this deep. You can touch the end of it with your finger. It's not a natural woman. It doesn't lubricate, obviously. It's an inverted penis. Patricia Steer, in case anybody is not absolutely clear about this, is transgender.
So, Twit, tell us about your vagina.
Well, I definitely checked to make sure it was different colored than my skin. So I'm good.
Pictures.
I am
I'm
sorry,
good to go.
I wasn't expecting you to be in the room, and I perhaps would have thought twice about including that clip if I'd known you were going to be here. So,
it did pique my curiosity, I was like, I have to check this out.
I kind of wonder how he managed to inspect it so so well.
Some guys are very thorough.
I can't remember spending a lot of time looking inside one. You know, as they say, you know, you don't see the frying pan when you're poking the fire. That was something like that. Something like no, you don't see the mantelpiece when I can't remember. There's some dirty phrase to describe that. So yeah, I mean I think it's an obvious. I don't know. It's an obvious lie that he's reacted to this rape allegation that was made by this Stephen Chess guy who is a weird.
Oh, shout out Antonio in chat, by the way. He's in chat.
He's in chat. You're kidding me.
I'm sure that's him. Just check. I just saw it.
Is it? What is it? A sock?
It is. It's the real one. It's the real Antonio.
Yeah.
He said, "Did you say ramshackle?" I meant to mention after the last clip. Actually, I think that hangout has the highest concentration of the phrase "ramshackle vagina" than any other video on YouTube. They said it more than anyone else has said it ever. So, oh well, welcome, Antonio. Anyway, so anybody say, yeah, go ahead, have some thoughts.
Yeah, Antonio's just super salty about getting dubbed. Sorry, Antonio. You just got super salty and you lost your mind a little bit.
What's crazy is that he thought anyone would buy this. That he thought this
People
would even
did.
remotely work as a theory. It's just crazy to me.
Scott, people did.
I know.
lot.
But it's crazy to me. The whole thing.
You know, if you said he's in the chat right now.
Yep.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to ask him, does he have like more than one red jacket? Because he seems like he wears that same red jacket in almost every video I've seen him in.
Yeah, I think that's
the same video
thing, isn't it?
Well, somebody had mentioned something that was pretty spot on, actually. And I mean, I guess it's unfair for me to say because I don't actually show myself. If I did, people would just never stop talking to me. So I just keep myself private. But Antonio, you have aged so much in 3 years. It's shocking. And I just wanted to let you know you do, and I have said that you resemble a butch lesbian now.
Lesbian.
I still like you. I still think you're an okay person. I don't like what you did to Patricia, but it's just for jokes. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I will say is that to make a false allegation,